talk, stories, equipment and more. We are Crossfader and this is off the record. Off the record. Off the record.
I can hear it on this.
Hey, so welcome back. It's Jamie Hartley here, and as you probably heard in that intro, we're actually running a live podcast right now on YouTube and Facebook. This is Off the Record. We upload regularly to our podcast providers, and we thought, what better way in lockdown than to do a live one with you, the audience, across YouTube and Facebook. And we've got a regular guest here, so I'm just going to get everyone on screen. Welcome, everyone.
What's up, guys?
So
Hello.
we've got Danny James with us, Lawrence James, and DJ James Holland here. Hopefully you can see and hear us all loud and clearly. And today's video is just all about answering your questions. So before we get stuck in, everyone, how are you all coping in lockdown? How is everyone doing in lockdown here in the UK? Let's start with Danny. How are you feeling?
Just trying to get on with it and make the most of my time being stuck at home like everyone else is, and not trying to get too distracted with everything at home. It's still a bit strange, but getting there. How about everyone else?
Go for it, Lars.
I'm the same. As you can see behind me, I've already gone crazy and started upsetting green screens and stuff at home just to fill my time up. And I'm pretty sure I've done a quiz every night with my friends and Crossfader family as well. So all good.
Nice. Holland, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm busy. Thankfully, being a geek, there's never a shortage of people a bit confused how to do live streaming at the moment. And mad projects. The emails we're starting to get through are mental. So people wanting to plug controllers into Ableton and do this and do that. So
nice. Well, yeah, I'm the same. I've been geeking out of the live streaming. I've got this set up, thankfully. Hopefully it runs smoothly, and hopefully everyone listening in the future, it sounds okay as well. So we're recording this to upload to the usual podcast places. So I think let's start answering some questions. We got a load of questions on Instagram yesterday, and we're going to start with those while everyone else wants to post comments in the chat box where we can answer questions. But first of all, let's start with some from Instagram, and let's go first. So Harry Moore 85 said, will Apple Music get involved in a DJ app now Spotify has dropped out? What's everyone's thoughts? I think no.
Probably not. No.
No.
It's not really worth the time, I don't think.
I think they don't need to really compete with what the huge audience that they already have.
Yeah, I think Spotify, if it was going to work, Spotify would have made it kind of work on a bigger level. It's not really taken anywhere, so anyone looking from the outside in, it doesn't really make sense.
Nope. Should we go next question? Holland, I think we've just lost your audio. Don't know if anyone else
I can't hear Holland.
I can hear him.
So we've got DJ Bales.
Can you hear me now?
15 here.
Oh,
yes,
I can hear you now.
can.
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
It's okay. DJ Bales 15 on Instagram said, can you gig with the DDJ 200? Holland, seeing as you're back, what do you think?
No. I'm sorry. The 200's outputs coming through the phone, the 3.5 millimeter, it's a mono signal. It's not good enough. Technically you could, but I personally would say please invest in something with XLRs. But it's possible.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things. You could do little parties with it. But
you can do some parties.
Good, but
you couldn't do any professional gigs. No way. Next question, we'll do a few more.
It's a lot of fun on algorithm.
We'll do a few more from Instagram before we get stuck into the YouTube comments. So Fanis Bar said, controller versus CDJs as club standard. Now, I brought this in because I thought this is an interesting one. Obviously, CDJs have been the industry standard for so long, but is there room for controllers to take over? I think maybe a fine line of all-in-one units, potentially.
All-in-ones, maybe. I think controllers, the problem with a controller is if you're going back-to-back with another DJ, a lot of back-to-back DJs, myself, Jamie, Danny, Loz, every single person on this podcast, all of us, I've gone to USB because when we're doing back-to-back sets or when we're going from club to club and doing numerous gigs, we know that there's going to be a set of CDJs there, so we just rock it with USBs. Rocking it with a laptop and finding out that the club's got a tractor controller and you're a record box user. It's a no-go for me, but the only ones could work.
But what I would say is I have turned up to a load of gigs where the DJ just has his own controller in there. So I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm not saying venues aren't using CDJs anymore, but DJs are bringing their own kit in and just plug it in just because it's familiar to them. Do you know what I mean?
I think the line between all-in-one units and CDJ setups will depend on the venue as well. I mean, there's going to be a lot of bars and those smaller venues that will be more likely to get an all-in-one, but with the bigger venues that are going to be having artists come in, they're more likely going to have the top of the range stuff because they'll be getting artists playing at the clubs and stuff, and they're not going to be as welcome into an all-in-one unit as some other DJs might be. So I think it depends.
Can I just give a shout out to Luke Tibble as well on the Facebook? He just said if the controller breaks, the whole thing's broken, but if one deck goes, you can replace the deck or
he would know.
Like that. So
he would know about
he would
decks dying.
Yeah. Just leading on from that about what we're going to see in clubs, I can't get the comments from YouTube. For some reason, they're not coming up in my software to pop up on the screen, but I'm going to read some out off YouTube now. So Andy Jarvis Music said, do you see clubs introducing Denons in their clubs? Luckily, I'm in a position where I choose what decks I use on my rider, but for those others, should they be worried?
Denon, I can see, I was just thinking about the last question with the controllers, and I could see Denon being a solution to clubs, and because the thing about Denon, what they've done very well is they've incorporated the fact that it reads a record box USB. It plugs into Cerato if you need it to. It will plug into a tractor library if you need it to. Yeah. It's becoming a solution that no matter who shows up, you should be able to play on a Denon. So I think Pioneer were fighting back with the XZ that was available for Recordbox and Cerato. So maybe that angle of DJs are now controlling what clubs have by what they have. So maybe Denon is a solution for the next generation of club users.
I agree. And Danny, let me ask you, because you are a hardcore USB user, you're the DJ that turns it with a USB drive and plugs straight in to the CDJs and the Pioneer CDJs, and you've used that setup for so long now. Would you be comfortable rocking up to a Denon setup, or would you still prefer having Pioneers there?
I mean, I think I'd still prefer the Pioneer setup in most cases, but I think if it was a case of the Denon, especially the SE6000s, the newer models, if they were to come into a club, then I'd probably really welcome it, because it is a really cool setup to have. There's a lot of things in there that I think once people start really seeing what it's capable of, will be like a nice surprise, really. But I think me personally, for now, I'd still probably prefer the Pioneer, just out of it's what I know, and it's one of those things I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, nice. Right, next question from Instagram. We had Rory Mac 3 say, moving from entry controller to CDJs for my club gigs, HID mode with Cerato or USB? So we've got two users here. Obviously, Holland, you're a HID mode user with Cerato. Danny, you're a USB user. And Lawrence, you're a HID mode Cerato user, aren't you?
I use a bit of everything, mate. You know me.
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm kind of with Loz. I like to switch between the two. Recently, I've gone back to HID, and honestly, it was like meeting an old friend after years. I was like, oh, this is so much better. So I suppose everyone.
It depends. But if I've got a gig that's like a student gig where I have to play everything, I like the range of. I like the amount of tunes that on a laptop just plug in HID mode. And then I've got my whole laptop of music there. But if it's a music specific night, like a house night or a bass night, I just like to go in with a CDJ with prepped on record box with CDJs ready to go.
I think just going back to the question, he says he's moving to that. So maybe if you're just moving, start with HID.
Yeah.
Get used to the decks and the layout of the decks, and then I found going from HID to USB is a lot easier rather than just going straight to USB and going, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
It is a bit of a shift. It's like muscle memory, isn't it? It's a bit of a shift.
Exactly that, especially when you're going through your tunes, because in HID, you will still go to your laptop to find your tunes.
Yeah.
Usually, but if you can get into the method, because you can do this, of going onto the deck, pressing back, going into the browse and going through, learn that, and then when you do go to full USB, it's not such a departure.
Yeah. I think that's great advice. I'm going to jump to a comment on YouTube. Lawrence, if you've got Facebook open, if you can check any comments, and you can jump in next after this one. So we've got a question here from Francesco Morello. How do you think the DJ industry will evolve after this situation, both as product releases and events where to use the equipment? So I think what it's kind of getting at is, are product releases going to slow down? Are they going to be delayed? And is that going to affect how artists,
I think for a while it'll be the same as every company out there, that it'll be like a slow moving thing until everyone finds their feet again, just because of how long this has been going on for. And I'm hoping that in terms of events and festivals, things like that, that it's really going to come back stronger than ever, because people, it's kind of that saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone, that people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe how amazing club nights are and festivals are, and just being together with people and raving and having a really good time. So I'm hoping that from the end of this, that it's going to be, a positive thing, really.
Nice. Shall we jump into Lawrence? Have you got some questions there from Facebook?
I have, mate. Yes. Hey guys, just ordered my first ever controller. Been watching your YouTube videos. I'm looking to play some disco and reggae stuff. Where is the best place to find this kind of music and individual tracks? I don't actually own any music, so I assume he's on a streaming service. That's from James Horwood. So essentially, where can you find sort of disco reggae music? Maybe not the normal kind of commercial stuff.
Yeah. Disco. I used to always
There's
jump
I use
to
a great
Beatport.
one. Yeah, Beatport's a great one. If you Beatport link, and the doingthedamage.com, I use that. It's quite cheap.
Yeah.
Doingthedamage.com, that's got load of disco stuff and just good house stuff as well, tech, disco, commercial club stuff, and it's pretty cheap as well. I think it's like £10 a month or something like that. So yeah, that's got a load of disco stuff on there. And
I've been using SoundCloud recently, and that's not been too bad. But what I would say about SoundCloud is, if you're going to link it into your DJ software to stream it, is to spend time on the SoundCloud website and add tracks that you find into like playlists on the website.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to search it into the DJ software, because it's a bit of a minefield, is that. But SoundCloud Go's been pretty good recently. I've been playing with it. It's not as good as what the other boys have mentioned, especially in terms of downloading the music, but it's been an eye opener of how much is on there.
Yeah. Also, ask your other DJ friends as well, if you've got DJs that are on the scene that on a certain type of music. Just reach out to them, and maybe you can do like an exchange. Maybe swap them a disco folder for a hip hop folder or something like that. Just reach out, man.
Yeah, and remember, you can download our music pack if you're just starting to build your own music library.
Yeah,
we have
Crossfader.uk. The link here. You can just head to this link.
There we go. There it is.
Got it.
There we go. You can sign up and get the music pack. Just leading on from that, though, just leading on about music, someone asked on Instagram here, Harry Moore again, saying, roughly how much do you spend a month on DJ-based subscription services? So
I don't want to say that.
A good question.
Mrs. can hear this.
I'm subscribed to BPM Supreme, DJ City, and I've recently subscribed to Tidal for the stream, like the built-in streaming. Just 'cause I'm testing that out with the Denons at the moment and seeing how that works, and I'm really impressed with it. But yeah, I don't know what that comes to. I think each service is about $20 to $30, if I'm right in thinking.
Yeah, I think they're all about 20 each. I mean, to be fair, this is a bit unrealistic for me and Jamie, I think, because we're both testing a lot of things at the moment. But at the moment, I've got SoundCloud Go Plus, I've got Tidal, I've got Mixcloud Premium, I've got DJ City, BPM Supreme,
Stream King.
Okay, I can see what the next
Restream,
question.
yes. I mean, Restream's not music, but yeah, there's probably £100 a month going out at the moment.
It's going to go flying. Which one's your favourite? That's what the next question's naturally, isn't it?
I pretty much only use. I would only use BPM Supreme because it's so vast, but here in the UK, I play a lot of kind of UK hip hop stuff, and only DJ City have that kind of stuff. So I'm on BPM and DJ City, and then I'll go and buy. Or doingthedamage.com as well. So It's about 50, 60 pounds a month, probably on music.
Yeah, but it's probably a lot cheaper than buying every track individually. So
Yeah,
you've got
yeah,
a way of
download
that.
a lot.
Well, a lot of my music I get is sadly has to come from Beatport, which isn't the cheapest place to get your music.
Yeah, for sure.
But
there is Beatport link. Remember, Danny, if you want to.
There is, yeah.
Beatport.
I mean, I don't personally stream, so for me, it's kind of I have to have the music or I don't play it. So it's, but like for me, the kind of music that I play now is like it has a lot of. I need a lot of those Beatport exclusives anyway. Like a lot of labels are releasing with Beatport early before it'll be anywhere else. So
you're on a lot of mailing lists as well, Danny.
Yeah.
That's a good point. In flight, I'm on in flight, and that cost me nothing.
Yeah.
What is that? Because I don't think a lot of people will know what that is.
So basically, if you're a working DJ, you have the opportunity to basically join what is called a mailing list. So the mailing list is where labels send a bunch of their tracks that are being released from whether they're up-and-coming artists or like already big artists out there. They'll be there that you can subscribe to. When you subscribe, you can kind of choose what kind of tracks you want to be sent and things like that. And it's just a good way for labels and managers and things to reach out to working DJs. And these same tracks also go to radio DJs, and it's basically just like you're the first priority for those tunes before it goes out to the public, so that they can get a bit of feedback before it goes out to the rest of the world.
It's a nice thing to have access to, I've got to say.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Lawrence, have you got any more questions over on Facebook?
Yeah, I have a question from Radu who says, I've just moved to the UK. I've been playing in my country for 8 years. I'm basically trying to get some gigs in the UK. He's texted a few clubs on Facebook, nothing responded. How can he get more gigs here in the UK, essentially?
It's tricky at the moment. With all clubs being closed.
Let me know how you're doing with that one.
What I'd say is use this opportunity, use this time now, to take the opportunity to build your profile, build your network, talk to the people that you want to be playing alongside, talk to the clubs that you want, the people running the clubs that you want to eventually be playing in, not asking for gigs, not saying when this is all over, let me play, just being a presence. I think
and you got to be able to show them what you can do as well. So your socials need to be in check. So if I'm a manager and you ask me for a gig, and then DJ X asks me for a gig, and I go on your Facebook and there's no videos of you even like next to a pair of decks, and DJ X has 10 videos of him mixing, then I'm going to obviously go with DJ X. So you need to use this time and show. We've all got cameras on our phones. It doesn't have to be super produced. It just has to be you doing your thing on whatever kind of equipment you have or what kind of genre you're into. Just make sure that you have some kind of content to show people, as we can't go out and speak to people face to face. Make sure you've got something to show them online.
Yeah
100%.
Right, I'm going to jump onto YouTube now. I just want to give a shout out to the Retrix. I just want to say thank you for all the tutorial videos and mix idea videos you've been uploading on this channel. It really helped me to start DJing. Keep it up, and you definitely deserve more subs. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks from all of us, and thanks for watching all of our mixes and videos and tutorials. So, yeah, great stuff. There was another question. I'm just scrolling back up the chat from James Lane. Do you recommend a new DJ sets up all their music, hot cues, loops, routines, etc., prior to doing small local gigs, or can this be done on the fly?
Bit of both. You should setting cues. Obviously, you've always got one on the beginning of the tune, but as you're mixing, you want to be setting cue points at where the intro is on the 16th bar and things like that. But I always think as much preparation as you can possibly have to just anything in general, not just like DJing. Any kind of the more preparation you can have, the more equipped you're going to be, and the less kind of nervous you'll be when you turn up to the gig. Because you'll be prepared. You'll be prepared, basically.
Yeah. So I'm just going to jump in here. So something that I always sort of preach to people in the sort of in the courses that we do and in the emails that I respond to is I say, don't get caught up on the preparation. Don't get caught up on just spending all your time preparing your music and not actually DJing, because you'll find a lot a lot of
Yeah.
where to set hot cues, where to set loops will come from playing, just from
Yeah.
experimenting. And while you're DJing, you'll think, that was a great point. Let me just quickly go back and set it. Even after a mix is done, if you're in a live situation, when you've finished a transition, you thought, oh, that could have been really useful. Rewind the track before you load the next one, set up your hot cue, and move on. And I find a lot of the best hot cues and loops that I'll find in songs when I'm just mixing live, and listening to the music. So, yeah. Anyone else for setting up hot cues? How do you do it, Danny? Do you do it prior to the gig because you're using USB? Is it slightly different?
Yeah, when I moved from Cerato to Rekordbox, my main thing was having to make sure that my library was like super prepared, because it's like Loz said earlier, when you're on Cerato, that's it. You're just in the search bar and everything's there that's on your library or on your hard drive. It's all just there at your fingertips. But with Rekordbox on a CDJ, it's a case of scrolling up and down, and then the touch strip for searching for tracks isn't the best on some CDJs. So it was more just really going through my library and preparing those folders and playlists and crates or whatever you want to call them to the best they could be, really. Just making sure that I've got everything. And a big thing that I use on CDJs is tag lists. So going through all the playlists and then just searching for tracks that I want, and then I know that, all right, I might want to play this one song 5 tracks later, hit that tag button and it goes into this tag list, and it's kind of like a playlist just on the go. Then you've just got all your tunes backed up. Same thing in Cerato, with the prepare folder. I always used to use that a lot. Big fan of that.
So
Nice. Right. I think we should segment.
Tune of the week.
So, any regular listeners of the podcast know that we do a tune of the week. We're going to pick our favourite track that we've been listening to this week, and share it with everyone there. So, Lawrence, do you want to go first?
Yeah, mine is a kind of Afrobeat tune, and it is from one of the biggest Afrobeat artists called Burna Boy. Features Jeremiah, and it is called Secrets.
Nice. Who wants to go next?
Holland, you go.
Holland.
Okay. It was a big charity event this week in the UK, Red Nose Day. Special focus on coronavirus pandemic. So I've had to go for the epic cover of Times Like These by the Foo Fighters. It's called the Live Lounge All Stars. It has every artist from the UK of note on it. It is incredible.
So
nice.
good.
Danny?
Mine is Jamie XX. I don't know. I've been playing this tune since it came out. I've just been rinsing it. I'm a big fan of Jamie XX. His productions are just unbelievable. So I can't stop playing this track. So I highly recommend checking it out.
Big tune. I'm a big fan of Jamie XX. Although I wasn't sure about it to start with. It's
one of those.
It's different. It's very, very different.
Very different. Very good.
Mine is Tom Misch. It's his whole release, really. It's not one particular song, but what kind of music? I'm a big fan of Tom Misch. And that's all of our tune of the week. So It's time to get some more questions answered.
I've got a good one.
Tune of the week.
Right, so Lawrence, did you just say you had a good one?
Yes, sorry, I've got a good one. From Jake Rock. What are your thoughts on Algorithm DJ Pro?
Ooh.
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
You go first, Loz, because you recently played
I absolutely love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's so much more fun. Not much more fun than DJing, but it's got more of that kind of, when you first start DJing, it's got more of that kind of just fun element, and it's just really intuitive. And it's like, when you're mixing kind of on the iPad or something, or it's got that kind of, you're in the kind of future about it kind of thing. And I think it's just a really cool and fun thing to just set up and just have a mess around for an hour on it. So I really like it.
Nice. Any more questions over on Facebook, or shall I jump into one on YouTube?
Jump into one, mate. Oh, so but which is better, Evermix or the iRig? Holland?
Oh.
Holland.
Put me on the spot. I'm going to say iRig because it's got, if we're talking about the iRig Stream, the iRig Stream has an audio out so you can connect speakers into it. The Evermix doesn't. Purely on that basis, iRig Stream, not the iRig 2.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a TRRS adapter, so it's not as good a quality as an iRig Stream. So Evermix boxes, though, I love them. They're brilliant for taking to gigs and recording mixers. They really are. And they're a good stopgap if you've got 2 outputs. But if you haven't, which a majority of our audience doesn't, so it's got to be the stream, the iRig stream.
Okay.
Nice. I've got a question here on YouTube from Harry saying, I have been a mobile DJ for a few years now. I am trying to become a club DJ. I can't seem to catch anyone's eye. I have been posting mixes on SoundCloud and marketing. Any tips?
The video mixing that Loz used to do, so I'll let Loz take over from where I'm about to say. But
we touched on it earlier, yeah, obviously talking about getting your kind of social media in check and things like that. But doing video mixes are great, and I know that a lot of DJs post longer mixes up to YouTube, and there is a problem with it getting flagged and things like that. But it depends on what kind of music you're playing, if it'll get flagged or not. But there are places you can put them up and you'll be fine. So just put your camera there and press record and just enjoy. Just film yourself mixing, and then tag people in and ask your friends and family to share it, and tag people in the mix and do it. I think consistency is the main one. I think anyone can do it kind of one time, but if people see that you're posting a mix every week, every 3 or 4 days on a consistent basis, then people start to take you seriously.
Yeah. Nice. Right, I'm going to jump into this question from Instagram.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to buy to make... It says love stream. Obviously, it must be a typo. But what am I supposed to buy to make live streams? How do you edit your videos? Obviously, we're doing a lot of content around live streaming at the moment, and it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
There are loads of different ways to do it. But what do you need to specifically buy? So what are the essentials? What would you say? Holland, you've covered it a lot. Lawrence, you're doing a lot of live streaming.
I think you need an audio interface. So you need some way of getting audio into your stream, whether that be using a little hack like we've posted to get the audio out of your software, or buy a Behringer UCA 202 sound card for 20 quid. You need a camera, whether that be the one inbuilt on your laptop or an external one, because you need it to look good.
Yep.
And then you just need yourself, and you need some enthusiasm, I believe. I think you need to entertain your crowd, get them engaged, and you don't need to purchase anything else. That's the important thing about streaming. You can use OBS, it's free of charge. We're not getting paid at the moment, most DJs, so don't go out buying 4K webcams because streaming is all at 720p. Don't go out buying ridiculous Focusrite sound cards because you're not producing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with doing this on a budget. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the channel as well, everyone. We're going to be covering more around live streaming. There's lots of content there already that you can go and check out.
There is.
Tips that Holland has created. I've got
one thing I'm really impressed with for the price. Sorry, I just put in there, but the roll and go. You have to look at the roll and go, because I think for the price, that is just such a cool bit of kit for. It's plug and play. Like you've just got everything there. It's in a small little box, and it's perfect for so many setups. And I think
the great thing with the roll and go is you can use it on the computer as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a great bit of kit. So I think if it's not breaking your budget, you should definitely check that out.
Yeah, agreed.
Nice. Right, I've got a question here I think we'll go fire this one over to Lawrence. It says, this is from Instagram from Luke Easy, how to structure or build a hip-hop club set when playing the whole night. So, we're playing for an extended period of time with hip-hop here. What would you play a lot of these sets?
Yeah, I have a regular set. It says DJ Holland in my corner there. Anyway. I mean, it goes for any kind of genre. Really, if you're playing an extended set, you're gonna have to. You can't open the doors at 10 p.m. and start playing all the big club bangers. You have to ease them in, and I think a lot of DJs do say that some of the most fun parts are the warm up, because in a warm up set, you don't really you're not necessarily having to please a crowd. People are coming in, they're grabbing a drink, they're having a talk with their friends before the night really gets going. So you can almost be a bit selfish and play towards your own taste, and just make sure that you're not playing anything too crazy that's going to get them super hyped. And the clubs, what you got to remember is as well, nightclubs trade on their bar take. So the longer you can keep people in there will in the long run help you. So if you can have an extended warm up and leave all them club bangers till the last couple of hours of the whole night, then it's going to benefit the venue as well. So yeah, just when you're at home, any kind of, in hip hop especially, the kind of more R&B tracks, more laid back tracks, just make a folder on your record box or Cerato, just name it warm up, and then any tune that you just come across, just drag that tune in, and then you'll over the course of your kind of DJ career, you just have some really good solid warm up tunes. And
there's also some really good mixes that I've heard in the past from DJs like Jazzy Jeff. Like some of the best sets that I've heard have probably been hip hop warm up sets. Like you can, if you know your hip hop music, and you can just really dig so far back into like really classic stuff. And there's some great stuff out there. Like Jazzy Jeff has one on his Mixcloud, I'm sure. So just check out a lot of mixes, because you'll get a lot of inspiration from them.
You know how I do my R&B sets, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but I do them by BPM. So because usually I'm starting the night off with a warm up, and I want to build up to peak time. Yeah, I start off at 60 BPM. Organize my playlist in BPM. Yeah, and then from there, by not just having an R&B playlist, but I call it an urban playlist. So there's R&B, hip hop, grime, trap, everything's in this one big playlist. Organize it by BPM, and then as I'm going down, I can just go, okay, I'm playing girly at the moment. Okay, there's a girly one in the same BPM range. Mix that in and work my way up, and then I find naturally as the night progresses, the BPM moves with the dance floor. So that's how I've been doing it. I don't know if other DJs do it a bit different. I'm not an R&B. I just do the set here and there.
There's some great tips in there. So I'm going to fire through a few questions that we've got on YouTube now, and we'll just do some quick answers. So, Colin UK, do you think Pioneer could come out with something similar to the Rain 12 turntable?
Nah.
I don't know. I don't think it's impossible, but
for me, it's not impossible. It's just I think you got to look at your target market, and the target market for Rain has always been turntablists. Pioneer DJ. I know they've dabbled with it with the S9, but. And the PLX 500 and 1000, but I don't think they'd sell enough of them to make it worth it for their while.
So we all know they're all about the products that they try and find products that are going to sell on a large scale, and I think it's a much smaller market. It's something like a Rain 12 for them to. They'll definitely prioritize other products, is what I'm saying. I think.
I mean, we could be wrong.
Rain are covering that. And covering it well, and I think they'll continue to cover that side of the industry. So
I mean, you still see a lot of DJs now using the Rain 12s, but they'll still have a DJ MS9. I think if Pioneer are going to do anything, it's more likely to be an update on a mixer rather than players.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd almost put £10 on it being called an R9.
Box 9.
Maybe.
Homie Steve said, if you don't want to live stream, what practice methods would you recommend? Getting behind the equipment.
Right. Yeah, practicing, right?
Yep.
I would recommend the Scratch Challenge and the Controller Cuts Challenges on our Instagram, because we love seeing what you guys can get up to, and it gives you some fresh material to play with. So that's what I would recommend.
Well, there's a new transition challenge going out tomorrow at 5 p.m. on our Instagram. So
there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
We give you the 2 tracks, and then you can mix them, and then we watch them and post them. So that's a great one.
DJ Ben Hardwick, just shout out, he's saying, love your work, guys. Thanks for the tips on live streaming. I've just got my Behringer sound card you recommended in your vid. Looking forward to my first live stream in the next few days.
You know what? Nice. That guy's quite lucky, because I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of questions saying, oi, Holland, they're sold out everywhere, so you can mention.
So, you must have sold them out. Come on, Behringer. Come on,
Behringer,
we want a
if
cut.
You're watching this, I'll await my check in the post, please.
Edwin Rio says, I'm trying to upgrade from my DDJ and trying to decide whether to buy CDJs and a mixer, which is expensive, or get an XDJ, which is expensive. What would you recommend for the next step up?
I've had 4 emails on this week with the XDJ/CDJ question. My advice this week and moving forward will be the XDJ XZ, because
100%.
It's all the bang of the buck. And it's $1,800, not $6,000. However, They're sold out until September. So sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Jeez. Well, there might be some somewhere in the world, but maybe not in the UK. YSM on YouTube is saying, is it still worth it this leads on from the last question, but is it still worth it to buy CDJs? Will there be a new one soon? I think there's got to be.
There has to be, right? Surely. I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would be this year, but early next year possibly. Doesn't make sense for him to drop one like now.
The thing
with club shot.
Yeah, but
exactly.
The thing is with the CDJs, I'm currently looking at a set of Nexus ones. They're still very, very expensive to buy. So don't think that if you buy one now, if a new one comes out, that the old one will be all of a sudden redundant. Because
no.
CDJ 2000s come out in 20. I'm going to go on a whim here and say it was like 2010ish.
Right.
And I still know they're worth a lot of money.
And surely with
about the monetary value.
Surely with the new record box updates, the new features there, that surely they're going to relate to something that's going to happen with
you would imagine
CDJs.
They'll have new waveforms, wouldn't you?
What I think might be interesting to see is if Pioneer made that jump of getting rid of the CD in the CDJ, so it's kind of becomes more like the Denon players, like at the XDJs, for example, whether they're gonna make that their top of the range now, rather, because I mean CDs now in the DJ world is not a very common thing anymore.
Does that mean then that the CDJ, as we know it, is dead because CDJ obviously stands for CD drive? So
that's what I mean. So is it going to become XDJ and that's going to take the lead from now on? I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
I think regardless of what happens, there's going to be, if it becomes an XDJ, there's going to be a whole heap of people in the industry going, well, what about CDs? And if it stays as a CDJ, people are going to be going, oh, but we don't need CDs anymore. We don't use them. And I think
we are being cruel. If you're still playing on CDs, the technology, it has been 10 years now. Maybe it's time.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's segment.
Story time.
Okay, so I believe, Lawrence, you're jumping in here.
Yeah, it's not a very long story, but it's relevant. So it's all towards streaming. So there's a million streams going on, and I happened to catch one of my friends live stream, and he's in his kitchen, and he's doing a vinyl set. And then how his kitchen is set up is in his kitchen, and then his kitchen goes on to his back garden. So all of a sudden you see his kitchen door kind of open into his garden, and then out of nowhere this guy who is obviously drunk with his shirt off and just only like kind of shorts on just turns up out of nowhere, and they're having kind of as the music's playing directly, they're kind of having a chat, and you can tell that he's asking him to get out of his garden. So he must have kind of jumped over the fence. So anyway, you can see that this guy's super drunk, and he tries to get him out, and then he kind of goes away, closes the door, and then reopens the door, comes in, and then takes the needle off the playing record.
Oh my god!
So then the DJ just kind of goes and like kind of shoves him out and closes the door. And then he's just like, what just happened then? And then kind of the next day was kind of pretty much like viral all over my Facebook. Everyone kind of watched it, and I think it's probably helped with his views and things like that as well, even though he was getting loads before. But shout out to Danny. That was a story about DJ Danny Bond. So shout out to Danny Bond on that.
I need to see that.
It's really good.
I've seen it. It's funny.
So funny. It's on YouTube. I just think, type in Danny Bond. It'll probably be the first thing that comes up.
It's like our intro.
Story time.
See, I'm in control here, so I just cut Holland off there, didn't I?
It's fine. Nah, I'm used to it.
Did you want to? Sorry, just add that to story time. You can go for it.
No. I'll just say it's like our intro on the story time. Sorry, not the off the record intro where we push the needle off.
Oh yeah.
At the start of this video, if you've only just tuned in, you can watch it back and you'll see what
it all again.
we're talking about. Saint Steve on YouTube said, on last week's Q&A, I asked about having the confidence to live stream. You guys said go for it. So last Sunday, I did my first live stream and had a great time. Thanks for giving me the confidence.
It's addictive.
That is why we are here, honestly. Yes. I love that.
Well done, Saint Steve. Congratulations. Just keep going now. Don't stop. Keep going. I think we need to see some round of applause emojis in the comments or something for Saint Steve. We need to show the love and support from the community.
Haven't you got the
Steve Smart? He'll tag his page and everyone will go watch it.
Yeah.
Haven't you got the siren effects, Jamie?
Oh, I do have a siren effect.
Did that work?
Right. Have you got any more on Facebook over there? We might have neglected Facebook a bit.
There was a quick discussion earlier about people were just having a conversation basically on Facebook about the Prime 2, and I think the question basically is the Prime 2 worth it? I haven't managed to touch it yet.
Is the Prime 2 the best piece of DJ hardware I've touched in a while? Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Nice.
I genuinely have fallen in love with that little thing, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Is that what
really
you've
like
commented?
it.
Is that your opinion, or is that what someone's commented?
No, that's my opinion. I genuinely really like it. I think
Nice.
because they've fixed the jog wheels,
Yeah.
and the faders feel better than the Prime 4. And the size of it, they've nailed the size. I know it sounds so stupid.
Are the jog wheels different from the Prime 4 then?
Yeah, but the problem with the jog wheels on the Prime 4 are the exact same technology. They're just, for me, are very light to spin forever.
Right.
The Prime 2, they just nailed it. It just...
Have they?
The price, I think, is perfect. I really do. I like it.
Nice. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got... I'm having to look through the comments.
I saw a comment earlier asking Jamie if with demoed making it to Record Box 6, will they put it in the actual units themselves, like the CDJs?
That's interesting, yeah.
I think on that note, maybe on the next generation, Pioneer don't tend to go back and add features to older hardware. They fix bugs, they support the products, but they don't really add new features. Not like getting on with the Wi-Fi and whatnot. So maybe in the next ones, and it would be useful. I think we've all played day parties and been like, I remember recently we were at a day party, shout out Jamie Thompson and Triple Cooks, and we were, Jamie, you were DJing, and there were people like sellotaping cardboard over the screen of the CDJs to try and be able to see the screen.
That was my whole summer last year in Zante doing daytime light. I was literally like this for my laptop, like
just like
covering the screen. It was a nightmare.
It's a big thing that was overlooked for such a long time in the industry, and I think suddenly everyone was like, "Oh, actually, yeah, people do play outside."
It's not just vampires that DJ.
Especially if you don't live in a place that rains all the time like we do. If you're in a nice sunny, if you're in a nice country that has sunshine all the time, then you need it, right?
Right. Here's a fun one from Instagram the other day. When doing a long DJ set and you need a Wii, what do you do?
That is a great question. But you know what? This doesn't get asked enough because this is a very real problem.
It is.
Do we actually be honest about this question right now?
I have a toilet mix. I have a few toilet break mix that are 20 minutes long that have no kind of swearing or anything like that. Just whack a mix on. But I have specifically, depending on what kind of night it is as well, I'll have, if it's middle of the night and I have to go, I'll have all the big bangers on there or a warm-up one. But
I'd like to shout out D. James for his amazing rates. He had 15-minute mini mixers. There were all sorts of BPMs and genres, and I used to find them. I used to actually have them in a crate called Toilet. Like, bang one of them on, right, run, come back. Failing that, I do believe a lot of DJs use smoke fluid bottles.
Don't ever do that.
Don't do it, but I do believe it's been done.
And ask someone that you trust who works there to watch
look after the decks.
I go there because I've been in the toilet about 10 times when the music's gone off because my mate's been drunk and he's thought he could DJ even though he's never seen a pair of decks in his life and he's pressed the wrong button. And I've got to run back for my toilet break.
I've got some more top tips actually on this one. If you do have to leave your decks, a great top tip from me is to put all your sample pads, if you've got a controller or P1, put them on sampler mode and turn the sampler volume off. So when people press the big flashy lights, the music don't jump about.
Yeah.
Also, if you're on HID, turn the deck off because it won't make a difference.
Yeah.
And if you're on a controller and you're playing on decks 1 and 2, flip them to 3 and 4 that are empty and leave. People don't mess with faders or press buttons.
That's a good one.
So
you know what?
I've always done as well with
we can just do an hour on this.
CDJs. I used to put you can go between vinyl and CDJ mode because if you leave the booth, 9 times out of 10 someone's gonna go like, "Oh, spin it around." I was like, "Well, you just slowed the track down." So it's just like the music goes a little bit slower and it speeds back up.
Okay,
we need to produce
normally
a tutorial on this.
I was just you just took the words out of my mouth. I think next week you're going to see a video on YouTube what to do when you need a wee.
Crossfader, how to go to the toilet when you're DJing.
There was so So many valuable tips in there as well.
We'll have to work quickly on it. I can already see Phil and Mojax will be like, notepads out, right?
I've got a great question on Facebook. I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw it this morning when I woke up, and there was an article about Facebook potentially charging for live streams. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
really.
So I had a quick read, and I think it's to do with because there's so many live streamings going on, and you being able to, or whoever watching, be able to buy into, pay a fee to watch you essentially, and then having no kind of copyright issues. What's your thoughts?
I don't think it fixes the copyright issues, Loz.
Right.
I think all it does is allow you to charge. And can you imagine the amount of refunds you'd have to give out when your stream gets taken down?
Right.
I believe from what I read, it doesn't fix that issue. And if it did, you wouldn't be entitled to the money. The record labels that play music, much like on YouTube, as soon as we play music, we're not monetized.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not it would only solve our problem if somebody pays and it fixes the problem of getting shut down, right? Like essentially like what Mixcloud is, where people pay you a $3.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what it is, and I think
no. Well, then it is worthless. It's pointless to our kind of.
I mean, if you're a live musician playing guitar or you're a comedian or something, you can charge that. Brilliant. But I think I saw a lot of DJs sharing it, and then I saw a lot of DJs sharing it, reading it, and then in their own comments saying, "Oh, so yeah." Stick to Twitch, Mixcloud, and YouTube.
Yeah, and it's hard. I think it's hard to charge for something online, because I seen something the other day. It came through, and it was kind of a local comedy club trying to kind of charge to watch them, and it's hard, isn't it? Because you can just go on YouTube and watch a stand-up show, or you can go on YouTube and watch a
you can.
DJ set. But I understand the need for people to earn
I saw
online.
The other day that Mojax was selling his T-shirts again. His infamous YouTube rips.
Right.
And I thought that was a very clever way of doing things, because he obviously needs support like we all do in these times. But you're giving something back to the customer as well. I think a DJ live set would be very hard to charge for, because there's just so many of them.
I appreciate that.
I agree. Right, next question, just from Instagram quickly. Would you ever consider hosting an event/meetup with your subscribers? I really want to do this. Obviously, in the current situation, it won't happen. We've got people all over the world, and travel is all shut down. But in the future, it would be great for everyone to link up. If something like ADE is on this year, we will be there if it's on. And we'd love to meet with as many people that are part of the Crossfader community as possible. And if it's not ADE, then it will be something in the future. And this is something that I really want to start.
We did do a live event before.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did do one. Yeah. And it was shout out everyone that came to that. Our first live workshop. I believe that was one of the first days I actually worked for Crossfader.
I think it was
officially. Yeah. And it was superb. I love, it was really good meeting everyone and getting, hearing everyone else's stories, because
it's great.
Yeah. I mean, every comment you guys send, every email you send, every thumbs up, and it does matter to us. It matters immensely, and we appreciate everything. We read everything that comes through. So yeah, it'd be great to meet you all as well.
No, it would.
Right, I've got a great question on YouTube. Ian Fitzgerald, is it acceptable to record transitions at home and then play them live? There are transitions that I can do at home but wouldn't have the confidence to do live in case I mess up, or is this cheating?
I'd say yes, but I do that for toilet breaks. So
yeah.
What he's talking about is just practicing, right? It's just the idea is to do it over and over again, so you're not nervous to do it live. And doing stuff live is where you want to be, but at this time, obviously you can't do that. So I've been trying to get at least an hour in every day to practice something new. I learned a new scratch yesterday, Transformer scratch, and just why would you not try and use this time the best you can? The worst thing to be doing is sat there. I've not once said that I'm bored, not once. No. This whole thing, because there's always, luckily in our kind of industry, there's something you can be doing.
Yeah.
And also,
I don't think it's cheating. I think you can't make up a whole set of it, but if there's some crazy mad transition, if it's something out there that it's a unique idea that you've come up with, and it's something that really stands out, that's unique to you, that other DJs aren't doing, and it's maybe very technical, then it's not the end of the world. 'Cause it's like you're just creating a mashup. It's like you just.
I think there's a lot of transition tracks out there, isn't there? There's a lot.
That's another.
At least these are yours.
Another thing is that you could do if you're making things like that is push these to the record pools like DJ City and other record pools, and just like give it out as like a bit of a DJ tool for people to play. Like
that's a great tip.
Tone play edits that I've had in the past from DJ City and people like that, and it's the DJ's specific edit, and it's like, well, if you're playing it and you like it and you think other people might make use, go for it.
Dean Mack, D James, James Hype's EPs originally, these mashups, Danny T's mashups, these big DJs in the UK all started by doing edits, recording them at home and send them to record pools. So definitely nothing wrong with doing that.
Right, there's a great question here. Jeff Wong on YouTube. What do you admire the most in each other as DJs? I don't think it needs to be necessarily about us, but just other DJs in general. What do we look for? I think is a good way to answer this.
I'm always looking for something that I've not heard before. I mean, me and Jamie went to the Red Bull Freestyle this year, and it was very obvious to us kind of who was going to be the winner, because all the DJs were super talented, but they were all playing very similar songs and similar routines that I've heard before. And then the winner at the end, D James, played a totally different set to everyone else, and that's the main thing for me, is just totally being, totally kind of your own DJ, and that's what I look for. Yeah,
I look for personality, and I look for not being too serious. I think some DJs can get really tunnel vision around, like, I'm the coolest DJ in the world and I've got to play the coolest music. And I think even the people playing really credible music can still have fun with it. And I think that's what I look for.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
I look for, personally, I always look for crowd interaction. I think, again, it kind of takes on where Jamie's saying that you've got to have fun with it. I always think that a really good DJ, when you walk in that room, you know instantly, before even laying eyes on the DJ, they've captivated the audience.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a very technically gifted DJ to do that. Go to any nightclub and go to the cheese room where they're playing Madonna or Steps or Cher or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if they've got the crowd, doesn't matter how they're doing it, I always look for that, and I admire that in other DJs.
Yeah. The thing I admire from a lot of DJs is the ones who aren't scared to get really creative with things, So, I mean, not in a sense of overdoing it with effects or, getting a bit stupid with it, but like one of my favorite DJs is a guy called James Abila, who does a lot of videos for Pioneer, and just the way that he gets creative with certain effects and just what he does with tracks just makes him really stand out as a DJ. And, I love stuff like that.
Yeah. What's amazing for me is, we do, mixes that coming out of our ears at Crossfader, and every time he's standing over the decks, the best thing is you have no idea what is going to come out at the end of this thing, and that's the best thing. That's the biggest rush I get, is you're like, right, I have this idea, but I have no idea in 30 minutes time how this is going to sound, but when you get the end result, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Nice. Mike Hepworth has said, what hardware are you guys using at home during lockdown? So I'm using the Prime Go quite a lot. Because
I wish you'd give that up. Can I have that? Can I have that?
SRT.
The 1000 SRT.
My favourite, my baby.
Danny, what you got?
I have, if you can see it here, it's Pioneer PLX 1000s and a Zone 23C mixer. I don't have any CDJs, just vinyl at the minute. Luckily, I've got a lot of vinyl tunes that I can play about with, so I'm all right.
I've got two 1210s. One of them's behind me, and then if I just take this off, I've got the Piece de Resistance, the CDJs.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I also have
You babysitting them.
A Nexus 1 setup. So, yeah.
I also have my trusted S9 and a pair of decks with phase attached to them as well.
Nice.
Phase.
There was another one here. Nick Van Beek said, as a mobile DJ, there are some locations that prefer me not to use monitor speakers. I'm doubting to change over to in-ear monitoring. What kit do you really need using IEM and how to get used to them? So the in-ear monitoring, IEM. Has anyone used in-ear monitoring?
Once, and it just wasn't for me really. I don't use headphones generally when I'm on a laptop. I tend to watch the waveforms now and again, but USB I just use headphones. I've never tried them, to be honest. I mean, I thought they look pretty cool. Sometimes I can see why people do it. You see it a lot in like the music world of like bands and things. And I mean, as a DJ, it could be something really useful. But I personally like to hear the crowd as well as what's going on in my headphones. Yeah.
I tried them once with. I remember watching James Hype use them when I was playing with him a couple of times. I asked him about them. He said he preferred it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went out and bought. I think they were Pioneer DJ ones. Actually.
Yeah, they made some a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, and I tried them, and it takes a while to get used to. But I found myself using split Q quite a lot more than I never did before.
Yeah.
But they weren't for me. And I tell you what, really, really, really hurts trying to walk away from your mixer with them in.
Oh yeah.
On other headphones, you just kind of get pulled a little bit. It's like, oh dear. These, it feels like your ear canals have been like, you feel like a fish on a hook. You're like, ah.
So we've got a few people asking about our opinions on Rekordbox 6 and what do we think about the new Rekordbox Cloud software. Obviously, it's a big topic at the moment with Rekordbox doing these updates.
I think they're just, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I think they marketed it wrong.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think it's not too different from Rekordbox 5. I don't.
No, I think that's
it's
the big
not that-
thing. Everyone's
it's
getting a
not
bit
that much
confused
different.
about.
Is it the pricing that's a problem?
I can see why people are getting confused.
I think the pricing is just confusing. I think it's not necessarily even a problem. It's a problem for some people. I think there might be some people that are like, oh, well, I paid for this in the past and now I've got to pay for it again. But
that sucks. I think they've left the HID users out in the cold. To be honest.
But I mean,
I
you still had to pay for that before. It didn't unlock the software before. You still had
No,
to pay
but what I
for
mean
it,
is if you paid 120 quid
Yeah.
and another 120 quid on top of that if you want DVS,
and then you
that
keep paying
sucks.
again. Yeah.
That sucks. But
the cloud library management's fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say when I first got my hands on it, it took me a while to really get my head around it and get it set up. Main reason being because we have a Crossfader business Dropbox account, and I think it was getting confused between it wanted a personal Dropbox account. I think I eventually got it set up with the business one, but there was definitely some weird thing going on there with the API and with the business account. But it does work now with the business account. It's just I had to do a bit of testing, and when there isn't any documentation to be like, this is how you do it, they just kind of send you the stuff and go, have fun. No, they do send a bit of documentation, but obviously it's not heavily covered yet. So it took a bit of getting used to.
I like it. I think it's very innovative.
Innovative.
And I think it's definitely where things are going in the future. I think it just confused a lot of people because it was, you got to install it separately, you got to pay for this separately, this is different. In reality, most people will download it, transfer over and go, this is no different to what I've been using, apart from some snazzy waveforms. So, yeah, I think there's just a lot of confusion around it. But I think, apart from that, I think it's a very good product.
Yes.
Right, we've got a few quick questions here again on YouTube. Venki Shenoy said, why can't Denon skip Engine Prime software and use Cerato in their SC decks? I think companies... They want to be able to innovate. They're one of the big things. When I went out there, me and Danny went out there to see in music, and one of the big things they hammered to us is they want to be able to innovate in the DJ industry. They want to be able to do things that haven't been done before. And I think by building their own software, it gives them the platform to do that.
Right.
I know it doesn't serve the current user as well because there's so many Cerato users out there. It would be like, that would be perfect. But from a business perspective,
Cerato isn't very good at library management compared to Rekordbox, and I really don't think if you put Cerato and redressed it as Denon Engine Prime as an exporting tool for the Denon players, that most people would still be complaining, going, why isn't there related tracks? Why isn't it automatically recommending songs for me? Why can't I sync it over 4 devices? So let Denon do their thing, let Cerato do their thing, and I think in a couple of years we'll be sat there as DJs very pleased that we've got like 3 or 4 fantastic platforms to choose from.
Yeah, 100%. Ready said, what headphones do you recommend? HD25s from me, the old classic Sennheisers.
Same.
Me personally is the IITMA 2s. These are the reason I love these is just because they're so much better than the first generation. They always used to snap, and they're just modular and you switch in and out. Yeah.
These are studio headphones, HD 280 Pros, but these are more reference.
I've got some
for making music, really.
DT 770 Pros. If you're producing or doing any studio work, these are belting.
I saw DJ City did a review of these as well. These are the Audio Technica, what are the ATH M50X. I use these for producing mainly, but I've seen there is a lot of DJs out there using them to DJ with as well.
Yeah.
If I wasn't so poor at the moment, thanks to all the nightclubs being shut, though, I would definitely be buying a set of V-Moda Crossfade M100 Masters because
I'm about to say that.
not just saying this because we reviewed them. We have no ties to V-Moda.
No, we don't.
I reviewed them headphones, and I am still jealous. I had to give them back to Jamie in the office because I love them.
Yeah. They are really good headphones.
All day.
Big fan of V-Moda. Omar Ray says, what do you guys think about the CDJ 900 Nexus? I can't find a review video from you guys. That came out before we started doing YouTube, really. But
Yeah.
900 Nexus is a really interesting deck because the Nexus has the flat color screen on it. So it looks a lot like a 2000, but the screen's flat, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
And instead of hotkey buttons, you have auto loop buttons, which can be quite useful, but it's a very good deck for the money. I'd say that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good deck for the money, but then it's that annoying thing of if your aim is to go from that setup to then a club setup, the things like your hotkeys being at a different place or not having the hotkeys accessible can straight away throw you off and throw your workflow off. So that's you've got to think they're great decks to have at home if that's all you're going to play on, or you're going to take them to events.
I think they are good decks. They were very expensive for what they were. And 900 have always been expensive, I think. So. Yeah.
Mojax has said, "What's up, dudes?"
Oh, what was up,
Mojax?
Hey, dude.
What's he saying?
Hey,
HDJ X10
X10
for the record.
for the win.
Right.
There we go.
win.
There's a lot of chat here about what would you prefer, DDJ 800 or 1000?
1000.
Which
1000.
would be the best DDJ 800 substitute for Cerato? So there's two kind of questions here.
SR2.
Definitely the 1000 from me between the two.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more expensive. You get more for your money, and I love the mechanical jog wheels. They're the main things. What is a good which would be the best DDJ 800 substitute for Cerato?
SR2.
Do you know what? I think the SRT is good. It's a bit more expensive, though, is it?
No, SR2.
No, SR2.
SR2.
Yeah. They're one bit. Well, it is still the current 800 replacement for Cerato.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 2-channel one, but this is where you get a lot for your money. I'm going to go off different here. The new mark, is it NS62 or NS63?
Yes.
I can't remember what the latest one is. It's built so well. It sounds great. It's got all the features there that all of the Cerato controllers that you'd expect, and that is much cheaper. And I'd say if you can't stretch to the DDJ 1000 SRT,
you know what I'd actually say
alternative
as well? I'd be tempted to say with the price drops that are happening, your SX3s and your SX2s, they're really cheap now, and they're fantastic controllers.
Right. I've gone back to the SP3 all week making crossfader videos.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice. Any more on Facebook?
No, but I just want to remind everyone. So yeah, tomorrow we are dropping a new transition challenge tomorrow on Instagram.
Yeah.
So would love to see you all getting involved in that.
I'm going live tomorrow on Instagram.
Yeah, Holland's live
there as well, 8 p.m.
on Instagram using the Evermix, right? Are you picking the Evermix?
Which one has been left at the office for me? It'll be either the Rail and Go or the Evermix, but one of the other.
No, well, I've got the Evermixes here. Whoops.
Okay.
It'll be the Rail and Go.
Yeah, the Roll and Go is amazing. I love it. Sorry, not Roll and Go. I was thinking of the Prime Go.
Roll and Go. Yeah. Still amazing. We still love it.
Yeah, we do.
Holland at 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be live on YouTube or this Saturday as well.
Yeah, on the channel. I'm excited for that, Lawrence.
I'll be on YouTube and maybe Facebook as well. 8 p.m. UK time as well. That is on Saturday.
Coming up.
And
yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I think let's wrap it up. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's been locked in, that has been commenting, asking questions. Obviously, we've tried to get through as many as possible. I know there are lots of questions that maybe went unanswered. Feel free to drop the questions in the comments after this goes live.
Yeah, well, I'll be in there replying as well.
Holland can reply to all of your tech questions. And if you're listening to this on any of the podcast players, again, thanks for listening. This was a live podcast of Off the Record.
Yep.
And yeah, it's something different, and we're going to definitely do more of this.
100%.
If you've got ideas for topics you want us to talk about in the future, all four of us can jump on and answer your questions in the future as well. So yeah, thanks again for listening.
For sure.
That was fun. Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe.
Yeah, stay safe. Cheers.
Goodbye.